stay brave, spend every day on the pavement. Envying my neighbours, ashamed of my stained trainers. Answering the door every day to the same bailiffs. Rearranging dates and explaining the late payments. This ain't no kind of game, my life isn't PlayStation. Still I wish they made a memory card I could save face with. Looking at my old penny jar, I would save changing. Now shit's getting overly hard to remain patient. I'm wishing I could switch up with you and exchange places like estate agents, but I'm still stuck in the same matrix.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the Art Kid podcast. I go by the name of Bison Briggz, and I'm joined as usual by
Gringo Green. And this is my friend Steve. Say hello, Steve.
Hello.
No comment.
It's a bit of a short.
I was gonna say
It's a bit of a short-lived intro. That I was expecting some sort of like
okay, then
wrestling
I'm gonna
intro.
leave it there, guys. We'll see you next week.
This is Steve's been a
Say
nice
bye,
episode.
Steve.
No, so how did you two meet? Obviously, it's the first time I've met you, Steve.
Yeah, that's right.
How did you two sort of?
Well, there's this gay bar in town. I was in there, you know, it was GB'd up and...
Jesus Christ, I've heard this story before.
Yeah, so Steve, he owns a store near mine, a vape store, which you can see on the lovely wall here, Ohm of Vaping. It's in Culture. Yeah, so
you sort of met through the CBD thing?
Yes, it's kind of, I was going to a lot of CBD, I said vape stores, and then, which we'll dive into on the episode, with my mental health, I was recommended to use CBD.
Yeah.
And then through a friend, he said, go and see Steve. Which Steve, his shop is Ohm of Vaping, is local to my house, so I popped in. And then usually when you go to like an e-cig store, yeah, and you ask a question,
yeah,
I got a jar of glue, yeah, some guy had me putting drops in it and all that. I was like, yeah, it was like, buy this, it's 350 quid, yeah, and buy this is 90 quid, yeah, and drop it in, it should last you 3 hours, and so I was like dropping it in, yeah, and it was just having, it tastes like charcoal, yeah, and he'd be like, is that good, do you feel good, yeah, I was like, yeah, it's been that, mate. Yeah. So, but then when I've come to see Steve, it's you know, he's glued up on his CBD and his vaping, and it's something, obviously I'm not just saying that, it's somewhere I'd recommend getting my stuff from, because I like to hear someone who knows what they're on about. And also I've gone there and shared an experience and realised I've had similar issues. A lot of people smoke CBD for what it does for you,
yeah,
and it does different stuff for different people, because people need to take it for different reasons, whether it be stress, pain.
Everyone is on it at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes, also, but me seeing Steve, it's nice to talk to someone who's clued up and I can relate to with the reason why I want to take it.
How long have you been into CBD, Steve?
Yeah, so my experience with CBD is quite a personal one. I'm ex-military. I was diagnosed with PTSD way back in 2010, and I went to the GP various years trying various different types of medication. So I was doing a lot of research on like herbal solutions to anxiety and stress. Yeah. Because every time I went to the GP and I was getting medication, I'd feel okay for about a week and then bam, crash, back where I started.
Yeah.
So I thought something's not right. So like I say, I was just researching what could mend you herbally, you know. So I came across CBD and started taking it, and that's when I realised like it's really, you know, something that works. Yeah. So I started taking it back in January.
Do you think it works? Because a lot of people, I remember when it went on sale in like Holland and Barrett and stuff, and people were saying that's all shit, doesn't work at all.
Yeah, well,
in my experience, the stuff from that vape shop I used to go definitely didn't work. It did work in my bank account, depleting it. No, but I see sometimes. Yeah, I'm not going to say, listen, have this CBD, you'll get a 6-pack, lovely, and you'll be minted next week, But it definitely does grow. No, but with the CBD, see, these are higher strengths at the cheapest prices. No, but
definitely.
No, with the CBD, I have had lower strength ones and I felt better, but I felt like it was maybe the way you say a placebo effect.
Yeah.
Now, with the strength I'm vaping at the moment, I feel like you have to peel me off my couch because I'm just like, let's all save the trees and stuff to people. You know, we're going to go out and tree hug a tree and get chained to it later and just save the environment. And no, but it's, you see, I have a lot of issues with mental health, which I've discussed previously. And PTSD for similar reasons, for different reasons than you, but a similar problem. And obviously, everyone can take, you can relate in some parts of, you know. So I've had history with with mental health medications, whether it be metrazapine, sertraline, and you know, it's up and down to death, which I'm up and down, but I think with my experience in taking the medications, I can't feel when I take a one from the doctor. I can't feel sometimes it's doing anything to me, but people around me can. But also, if I can have a day where they go, oh, bloody hell, them tablets are good for you, and I'm just like, I love you. You know, like I've had a knee and I'm giving too much love out. Like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then other days, I'm just like the Incredible Hulk all day. You know what I mean? Like, just not like, and I feel like I don't always feel myself taking them.
Yeah.
And obviously, they come with side effects now. CBD is something that it makes me feel good, and I'm vaping it. Excessively probably, but I vape it a lot, and you know what, it just mellows me out. When I go home and chill on my couch and I'm vaping that, and I just feel I never get a kick off. I never have if I have a sertraline tablet to try and make me better, I never go, oh, I feel nice. But when I'm sitting, I actually just can sit with myself when I smoke that and chill.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it also cuts you out from smoking, which is a bonus, but which vaping's brilliant for. But when I smoke the CBD, it just does it it just makes me feel better. I would say it's better than the stuff the doctor subscribes, and it's also becoming a lot more acceptable. CBD is something you think when it first came out, oh, it's cannabis related.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people did, didn't they? A lot of people, oh, it's weird. Like I don't take CBD.
Yeah,
I've tried it. I have asthma, so I used to have a sponsor that was a CBD company, and they used to send me the drop things. And it did work with my asthma. I felt my asthma was getting better, but I don't know whether that was just me mentally assuming that it was getting better because I was taking it, or...
Can I just add that his drops that he had, he gave me some that tastes like bleach.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd rather be mentally ill than have that shit.
They paid me to sponsor, and they were great.
Teeth.
Hey, them drops were great. If you're looking for another sponsorship deal, drop us an email, Skin. But yeah, so for yourself, so you went into it more on a business. Was you taking it as a consumer before you went into business with it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because I've only had this shop for about 3 or 4 months now. And that's the reason why. Because from my personal point of view, when I was looking for this, I was in a very dark place.
Yeah.
I was low as you can get. Like, I was suicidal. I was like on the brink. But because it gave me perspective, it gave me a chance to think clearly, and you can relate to that, because when you're at that lowest ebb, you can't think, you know what I mean? So the CBD allowed me to think, and hear myself think, and that's when I started thinking, well, maybe I can do this for a living. Do you know what I mean? Like sell it in a shop or whatever. Because prior to this, I was a BT engineer for 6 years. And the stress that brought, and you know, with everyday life and PTSD, it was just...
It must be nice to work with something that you're passionate about.
Yeah,
you know, such as even the vaping, for a start, is a great product. Also, when you're mixing it with the CBD, I've had the drops and whatnot, and I get so much more from vaping it. A lot of people say, oh, vaping, it's not as good, this, that, and the other, but for example, it's cannabis. And it's cannabis-based, whatever it is, and they smoke cannabis, so... Why can smoking CBD not be? But personally, I've tried the drops. I've not tried the capsules, but when I smoke that, it works for me. And I'm not being funny, not a lot works for me.
Do you think it is the product? Obviously, like I say, I'm coming from a perspective where I don't do CBD. Do you think it is because you're smoking something mentally, you're thinking it's working, or do you think it actually is?
It could be a bit of both, because... If you're doing the actions of smoking and vaping, it's tricking the brain into thinking that you're...
Putting positive thoughts in.
So everyone knows, like, when you smoke a cigarette, as bad as it is for you, it can release endorphins because it can be a relaxant. So I do think with the vape, especially the ones we've got, you have to take it back. So you're taking a deep breath anyway. And sometimes that's all you need. But I do think the CBD works for what it does. You know what I mean? Because I think it's loaded with antioxidants and various other things. I think is very beneficial.
That's good. It's interesting. Like, I've got mates who don't do CBD, but they just smoke weed. And obviously you're smoking that with nicotine as well. So the CBD, you basically, I've seen, for example, Jamie smoking CBD when he's mashed into his couch, and he looks like my mates who smoke constant weed.
I feel like when you drop a 50p down your couch and you're just like chilling, you just see me shoe coming out of the hole. James CBD.
The thing I like with it is when I'm with yourself and when I'm with my mates who do smoke weed, you don't stink of weed after it. A lot of my mates who smoke weed, they smell of the clothes and everything smell of weed. Where the CBD, from my perspective, it looks a lot cleaner way.
It's
of
acceptable because my granddad's on it. He's 86 years old, you know what I mean? And my granddad's one of them, if you smoke a joint, you're a smackhead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you smoke a cannabis joint, you go smackhead. Look at them smackheads smoking weed. You know what I mean?
I have noticed that the last few years, people are becoming acceptable to it. Like, mums and dads are now smoke. My mum used to call weed
depends where you live.
And stuff
Wacky-backy,
depends where you live. Some mums are say acceptable to heroin and crack and all that. Have you ever been Skegness?
Jesus Christ.
Right, so let's dive into your story.
Yeah.
What brought you on the journey from where you started, to where you was, to where you are now? So let's dive in.
Wow. So, yeah, I was just a run-of-the-mill, normal teenage lad, asking about, all that sort of stuff. And it just got to a point in my life where I thought, I need to break free, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I thought joining the army was always something that was destined to do, in my opinion, because my dad was in it.
Yeah. Following the
family's footsteps, yeah. So it was just something I needed to do because I was getting locked up and doing stupid shit, you know what I mean? So, joined the army. Had some of the best days of my life in there.
How old was you when you joined the army?
I was 22.
Is that kind of late for joining the army? Don't they start recruiting at is it 17 or something?
Yeah, I mean, you can join at 16, but when I went to basic training, there was a 31-year-old.
Right, so I think an all-age thing.
It's you're not over yet.
It's just not
join the dad's army.
Salvation Army.
I think the cut-off back then was you had to be 33 or under.
Okay.
So, relatively late, but not too late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Is it as hard as you say it is? Basic training and stuff.
It was either join the army or end up like me.
Kind of.
Oh yeah, nice one.
I was just going nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Drink, all the stupid shit you do.
Yeah.
So it was either sort myself out. I had to get away because I just had to do it for personal reasons, and it was the best decision I ever made at that point. Basic training is solid. It's solid. It is like. And everything you can imagine, basic training, like old school sergeants in your face, fucking...
Like, what's that?
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Like
Stand up, private!
Yeah. all that, like, you've got your room.
Pile?
No, there's a few of them. I seem to take to it naturally, do you know what I mean? I wasn't the best soldier, I'm not saying I was or anything like that, but...
It might sound cliche, but when they say the army makes the money on.
Yeah.
Whereas, obviously, as a young person, 22 years old or whatever, going to join the army, it teaches you about respect.
Yeah,
which,
definitely.
I'm not being funny, I didn't have at 22. I've even got it now sometimes.
Yeah.
And when they say how to be a man, it gives you a lot of people who haven't got an aim in life, and it teaches you a lot of things. It's traditions and it's standards that you'd never get anywhere else.
For the things as well, they take you out your comfort zone, don't they? I'm guessing, did you get based outside of Manchester for training and stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
So it takes you out your family life. And
it rips you far away from your home comforts, from your comfort zone. You are literally plucked out. And like for me personally, I went to my basic training. It was in Catterick, North Yorkshire. So I remember the day I left. My family took me to the train station. You got to bear in mind at this point, I couldn't even make a coffee.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I couldn't even fucking pour a kettle. Honestly, I was so fucking stupid.
What was that like then, the train ride too?
Wow. So it was.
Was it like going to Hogwarts?
Well, I've not seen the film, but I can imagine what you mean. But it was everything you can imagine, like everything old-fashioned you can imagine. Like joining the army, it is.
Was you scared?
Yeah, shit scared. Yeah.
I bet it's like because you watched the film
like that day.
Well, that's what I mean. Just reliving that now, it's making me nervous. Now, you know what I mean? Because I can remember my family waving me off on Piccadilly train station and. Yeah, as soon as I went out of shot of them, it was like, you're on your own.
Yeah, the reality hit. Shit, this is actually happening.
Shit. So I remember I got a train to Darlington. got off the train there and didn't know anyone. And then all of a sudden you hear this like noise, like this clicking noise. I fucking looked to my right. There was a sergeant there in 2 dress,
Yeah.
So it's like the army suit, medals, fucking forage cap, pace stick. And he went, "You over there." And it was just like, right, here I am.
Game
here
on
I am.
sort of thing.
This is it. I'm here. I remember getting on a coach there and there was like fucking 30 odd people similar to me. No one knew each other. So yeah, it was crazy.
I bet that's
crazy.
daunting because obviously you're all young lads. Was he girls in that there as well?
No girls, no.
So you're all young, probably early 20s lads. Don't know each other.
Don't know
I'm guessing
anyone.
there was a lot of like tension between you all as well because you're all nervous, scared.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I joined the infantry, so at that time it was just a male role. You know what I mean? So it was just like you say, a lot of males there, and I was the only Mancunian there. So, like you say, there was a bit of tension, nervousness.
Yeah.
There was lads from Northern Ireland, a lot of people from down south, Brummies, Scousers, Geordies, Scottish, Welsh, the fucking lot, because I was in the household division, which is like the guards.
Yeah.
So you got like the Welsh guards, Scots guards, Irish guards, Grenadiers and Coldstream. So, yeah, all parts of the country were there. Yeah. So it was...
I'm guessing it's a good experience though because I'm guessing they break you all of you right down at the same time in training, so you all have that sort of family level.
Between you all,
Yeah.
because you all go there.
You've been through the
like
same
I
shit.
said, so many 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
And from the tension and the egos a lot of young lads have.
Yeah.
It creates, probably turns all that into a bond.
I think the thing as well with the army, like you said yourself, I think a lot of people go into the army because they're running away from something.
Yeah,
so
definitely,
you've all
yeah.
got your own backstories and problems.
Oh, aye.
So it breaks you down to a point where you're all on sort of like a base level with each other.
Yeah, it was like that prison mentality because, like you say there, you had people who were just social rejects, you know what I mean? They couldn't fit in society, so they went to the army. You had people that were escaping for various reasons, ended up being the right reasons why they joined. And then you had those career type soldiers who were like uni fucking graduates.
wanted to be officers and stuff.
They were there like boom, you know what I mean? They wanted to climb.
Would you wish you would have went in this? Are you happy to go in the infantry? Or if you could do it again, would you still go in the same that you did? Would you still go into the infantry? Or would you...
I wouldn't change a thing.
Would you not?
No, I wouldn't change a thing, no. People say, like, if you join the army, make sure you try and get a trade. Each to their own. Each to their own. But for me, it was like all or nothing, infantry. That's all I wanted.
You're there to
I
fight.
agree with that. Not that I've got the experience, but if you're going to join the army, you go in the army. You don't go in the army to be a plumber.
Yeah, you don't go there to be a chef,
Which I'm not
do
calling
you?
people who do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They're still in the army and they've done a lot better than the choices I made. And I can respect it to death. Yeah. Nevertheless, if I personally was going to go in the army, you're not going to go in there to be a traffic warden or something. On the army car park, I have to give you a ticket again, because he's got his camo and you can't even see him. Who said that?
That's exactly right. If it is each to their own, and everyone's fair game. But for me personally, I wanted to go in the army.
You knew what you was going there for.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long's basic training?
So for us, it was 28 weeks. 28 weeks.
That's a long time to break you down.
Oh yeah, it is. And for the first 6 weeks, you weren't even allowed to like leave camp or anything. It was like, for 6 weeks you was a prisoner. Yeah. Because the first 6 weeks, in my opinion, was designed to weed out the weak.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Did people break?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like I say, there was, I don't know the exact number, but let's just say there was 35 of us. By the end of it, there was only like 20 who passed out. Do you know what I mean? I think it was more than that. I think it was about 50 odd, to be fair.
What was the hardest part of it? Is there anything you can...
You wouldn't want to do again.
The hardest bit for me was the drill. The drill is the ceremonial act, like learning how to march and,
because that's learning steps and stuff,
Like I was always out of step.
Was you intimidated to get that wrong? Yeah, because you get a right bollock.
Oh, yeah.
People won't think of that as well, because you think the physical side of it, like, the running and...
Yeah.
But for some people, learning steps and marches, some people just don't take to that at all. Like, you can be as physical and athletic as possible.
To do that right.
Yeah.
It is, because in basic training, you've got to march everywhere. So if you have to get marched to the shop as a unit, do you know what I mean? You can imagine what it's like. So... if you're all marching and everyone's in like left, right, and then someone fucks that step up, then it has a knock-on effect. and then you all get
Half
punished.
these are doing something different.
Yeah.
It's the people who keep getting it wrong and everyone's like,
Yeah, me.
Pile. Lucky private pile.
Oh, mate, honestly.
This is my rifle.
The drill for me was the most annoying part because it's nothing I ever imagined doing in the army.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I didn't think that was a part of it, you know, but...
But the thing is, I'm guessing when you're on tours and stuff, you're not marked, you're not doing drills anywhere. It's just
No.
part of the... I think that's like, you was going back to sort of the respect side of it. You learn that this has to be done no matter what.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're following orders, aren't you?
When you pass your training, do you get a level of respect then from?
No, do your balls.
Well, 'cause
You
you're
do,
over-
you do from the instructors that are there, but as soon as you go to battalion, it's a whole new world.
Is
again.
it?
Yeah.
And are you bottom of the food chain then?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so-
Yeah, you're the Joey. You are the Joey
Which
until
I
the
bet
next
everybody's
move.
been on that.
Yeah, it's like initiation, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like,
But it's like year 7, innit? You know,
Yeah,
year 7
yeah,
and the year 10s
yeah.
give you a bit of shit.
Yeah,
and that,
We didn't all go
Absolutely.
boarding school, Luke.
I wish.
They give you the better shit.
Fuck's
No.
sake.
So, yeah, is there any places it took you which, not like such as on tours, did you go to any... Because a lot of army lads and navy lads and whatnot, they all
Yeah.
see the world, don't they?
Yeah.
Did you see the world from the army?
no, not really. Not really. Because we were guardsmen, so our duty was... We were home guard.
Yeah.
Not home guard, but we were the household division, so... I think I joined at the wrong time because the unit I eventually ended up being with, they had just moved back from Germany.
Yeah.
So they were stationed out in Germany.
Yeah.
But at that time, obviously, there was a war going on. So
Which war was that?
the Afghan war.
Yeah, the Afghan.
The Afghan war. The Iraq war had subsided a bit.
Hmm.
So the Afghan war was in full flight. So there wasn't that many opportunities to go out and about. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was more... I was stationed in Windsor. And then I was sent back up to Catterick, so I didn't really go anywhere
So you
glamorous.
just got put straight into action. You
Yeah,
didn't go
yeah.
skiing like some of them
No,
did,
no,
like,
no.
I've just done a tour of Switzerland.
There was some lads, the Welsh Guards. We literally passed out a training in I think it was the March, and they had like a week off, and then they went straight to Afghan, straight from training.
Bet that's ever.
While the other
but
dude
it
was in
was.
California playing football.
Oh,
like
yeah,
some of
yeah.
them did.
I was going to say that.
You
So
pop-
your sort of training group, when you graduate, you're not all together and you all broke
Oh
up
no,
again.
yeah, you're all split up, mate.
So
Because
it's kind of like making little families every time you move
Yeah,
to a different
yeah,
area.
that's
Get
the
that,
thing.
bet that's hard.
It is hard because, like you say, when we finished when we passed out of training, there was like, for example, 6 Irish Guards, 10 Grenadiers,
Yeah.
10 Coldstream, few Welsh, whatever, and then you're all split up then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So everyone you built a bond with for over
Yeah.
the X amount of
Did
weeks.
you keep
and
in
now-
contact with any of them people?
Yeah, still friends with them today on Facebook, yeah. The majority of them, yeah. Yeah, good lads. Some good times.
So what was the biggest thing you did in the army? Did you go on any sort of tours or anything? Or?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I went on Herrick 12 in Afghanistan in 2010.
What was that like? I'm guessing that was the same. Remember that set when you said you got on the train your first time leaving your family? Was that sort of the same feeling getting on the plane?
No, this was different. This was... You didn't know whether you were going to come back.
Yeah.
So you didn't know that was the last time you saw your girlfriend, your mum, your family. You never knew, so it was an eerie feeling.
Yeah.
Was the first time you left the hardest, or was it hard every time? So when you'd come back and then you'd have to go back on tour.
Yeah, that was hard.
Was
That
it hard every
Yeah,
time?
Yeah, every time, yeah, because when you do a tour over there, you get like a 2-week R&R, so like rest and recuperation.
Yeah.
And that's hard because, first of all, you're leaving your mates and the lads.
Yeah, of course.
So you just plucked out of this war zone. Like for me, it was during the World Cup 2010.
Yeah.
So you're plucked out of this war zone, you're thrown back in society, and everyone's just cracking on. Like everyone's getting pissed watching the football, and you're there like trying to make sense of it. Like what the fuck?
Why did I do that? Like,
Yeah.
why did I?
But then, just as you start relaxing, it's then time to go again. So it's all the goodbyes, all that sort of stuff.
So you never really get a balance then, do you?
No, do you? No. No, it is hard.
I bet that's hard because, like, say, if you've been to Afghanistan, you're coming home, and everyone else's life is just carried on,
Yeah.
like normal.
Yeah.
So what's your feelings on Afghanistan? Let's not say how your experience was there. Let's say when you first landed there, what was it like? What was your expectations, and was they met with how it was when you got there?
Yeah, it's a strange place. It really is. It's a country ravaged by war.
Yeah.
Before us, it was the Russians, and you know, it goes all the way back to like the 1800s.
It's literally never been out of war.
It's never been out of war. So the people are fantastic. You know, the locals, they're just trying to crack on, live their life. But yeah, I mean, like the main cities, obviously, you know, they're not like Manchester city centre or London. You know, they are a bit behind, but
Like Wales.
yeah, like Bolton.
Bolton.
Sorry, babe.
Yeah, like Bolton.
But yeah, once you go out on the front line, like it's very medieval.
Yeah.
Do you remember your
like, 'cause when you
first time to go out when you've done your training, you've got to Afghan, and it's the first time you're going on
Leaving
the base? Can you recall that time?
Yeah, I can, yeah. So basically, you get to Camp Bastion and you got like a couple of weeks to acclimatise to the heat, to everything. So you're in Bastion for 2 weeks. You're weighing it up in your head, thinking Jesus. But then me and a very close mate of mine and a few others, we got what you call dicked, right? Yeah. So we got dicked to go on this convoy. So all my mates flew out on a Chinook to where we were going, but I didn't. So I was a top gunner on like a Mastiff. It's like an armoured vehicle.
Yeah. Oh, so you was the guy.
Yeah. So I was the guy on the top of a vehicle like that.
The target.
Yeah. The focal point.
I've seen a few films and all. The first one.
Yeah.
I was that guy. So we had to drive from Camp Bastion to where we were going. It took fucking days. But we kept on going through all these villages and towns. And
they're like the worst places to go for it.
Yeah, especially on top cover of a vehicle, because you never know who's going to jump out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, because I was a top gunner of a grenade machine gun.
Yeah.
Never used it, but when we were going through the towns, obviously, if someone jumped out, I couldn't use that.
Could you feel sometimes it was an atmosphere like you felt
Atmospherics, yeah,
yeah, like
absolutely,
something was going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Like the calm before the storm, it felt there.
Yeah, you knew.
Something was about.
You knew. So, for example, if we left our camp and went on patrol, you would see farmers in the field doing what they're doing. So we're like hand railing going past it, and then all of a sudden, everyone disperses.
You think what's going on?
It goes very quiet, and you're waiting for that crack and whip. You're waiting for it, and it comes every time.
What's that like? What's the? You watch the films where bullets are flying past and that, and you can never really. I'm guessing you can watch 10 million films about it, but unless you're actually there and that happens, guessing it's a completely mad feeling.
Yeah, it is. Because you don't know how close it is. You don't know how close it is to you.
Yeah, it could be yards away.
It could be yeah. But it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling. It's an adrenaline rush. It's a strange one.
It's one of the things you have to experience it.
You
can't even explain it. Like
it's hard. It's hard because you hear the crack in the whip and you're just thinking, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's life or death. It's life or death.
Do you go into sort of autopilot when that happens?
Yeah, your training kicks in. Your training does kick in, yeah. You know what to do. As crazy as it sounds, when you get past that initial heart getting out your chest moment, like boom, 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 that's when you're like, right, okay, I know what to do.
I suppose it's like they say with, obviously it's not a completely different thing, but like with boxers, when they get in the ring, they know someone's going to punch them in the face, and that's just part of the training.
Yeah, that's
to
it.
Get over it.
Once you get over the ring walk, on all the glamour part, then
it's everything you've learned before. So the more you put in, obviously the more you've learned in the training, which I suspect that the British
just becomes
Army's
natural.
Training is a good standard.
Yeah, it's a good standard. Yeah.
Would you say it's one of the best standards in like army-wise? It's got to be one of the best in the world, isn't it? The training you receive in England.
Yeah. It is. It is, because we have attachments with us like the Gurkhas, blokes from Nepal. Yeah, unbelievable. Like I say, the Gurkhas are phenomenal people. Very, very loyal. Fearless, very fearless.
I went to the Tower of London recently, and he was on guard there, and they're all like a mean people, and I love the idea is the Gurkhas. I remember watching a TV programme years ago when he wasn't being able to come and live in England, and they're fighting for our country, and when you see them, you know what I mean, they're very dedicated, and they're over there protecting our royal family and whatnot, and they can't even, you see people who just come and live off English benefits and all that, right? and then people who are out there fighting wars for us can't come and live it.
Yeah,
it's a travesty, isn't it?
It is. It really is. It's the same with like the Fijians as well, and there's a lot of Commonwealth in our military, and they're great people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They really
do a
are.
lot for society.
Yeah,
over
they
there.
do.
They're fighting for our military, am I right to say that?
Fighting for freedom as well, aren't they?
If someone's going and being in the military for us, no matter if we're at home, they're fighting for us.
Yeah.
So they've always got to be given the respect they deserve. And people, I don't think, give people who's in the army enough respect because they just go, oh, they used to be in the army.
Yeah.
But they don't realise that them people have sacrificed a massive part of their life for people like us sat at home eating Doritos. So I mean, if there was no army, it would just be mayhem, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course it would, yeah.
And stuff such as the royal family and all that. A lot of people aren't keen on the royal family. I personally love them. I love the idea of it.
Yeah.
I love the idea of the history. I love what it stands for. And, you know, people need to give people who've been in the army more credit than what they give because, like, obviously people such as yourself have had problems due to what they've experienced in the army, and people don't I just think people don't respect what people do.
Not as much anymore, anyway. I think a lot of the older generation did. But at the same time, they lived through war
People
where they
respect-
seen it firsthand. Like, I think we're cushioned to a point where you see it on TV, but we're not like yourself. We haven't witnessed it firsthand to appreciate.
People appreciate someone who's... If you go out and work for 10 years and buy a big flash car, oh, look at him, he's doing all right in his nice car, isn't it? Well, if someone goes spends 10 years fighting in Iraq or Afghanistan for us or whatever, like, oh yeah, he used to be in the army. You get me? So people respect the wrong things.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's all this like reality TV. It's kind of sent our way of thinking in a different direction. Do you know what I mean? The morals are gone, in my opinion, because everyone's idolising, I don't know.
You watch Love Island though.
Oh yeah, I've got no choice.
Oh, Rami, to be honest, yeah, you weren't going to ask the 20-stone-year-old Hell's Angel look-alike to go on Love Island, so...
So how long was... how many tours did you do?
Just the one. Just one's enough. But yeah, just the one for me.
Yeah. How long was you there for?
So we went in March and I came back early August.
So you're there for a while then?
Yeah, I was there for a while.
Is it sort of like what you see in the films? Obviously, like I say, I can only go off what I've watched on TV and films and stuff. Like, is the base constantly under attack? And like, are you always on your toes sort of thing?
You're always vigilant. But for the first, we got there in March. For the first month and a half, it was nice and chilled.
Yeah.
It was just like being on what the army call like an exercise where you're away from home doing your soldiering. And it was nice and calm for about 6 weeks. It really was. Like we were doing patrols. No one was really getting shot at. It was just nice and chilled.
You don't hear bad stories that have happened.
Yeah.
People say stuff trying to scare you when you're there. Oh.
No, because you don't really come into contact with like that many people who can talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because your unit's there and one unit's there. You're all.
So your unit, is that full of the unit that you was going out such on tour on a day-to-day basis with?
Yeah.
People that was in that unit done tours before?
Yeah, but no one had ever been to Afghan at that point.
Yeah, so it was new for everyone.
So it was new for everyone, yeah. People have done Iraq and stuff like that, but Afghan was... Iraq was more conventional warfare.
Yeah.
Because, they kind of knew who they were fighting, but with
Like
Afghan...
Mario.
Yeah.
A bit like Mario. Fucking rough over there.
Yeah. But Afghan it was like guerrilla, kind of like guerrilla warfare. You get shot at, but you couldn't identify where it came from.
And there was auto mines as well. Weren't there?
IEDs, yeah.
Well,
mate.
it was a nightmare because
Yeah.
you get trained so much to fight someone and be responsive, but it's that's like it's a deadly enemy, isn't it? Because it's not like you're fighting someone and you've been shot. You're standing on it must give you a lot of fear when you're there.
Oh yeah, I was about to say it's the fear factor of the IEDs because when you're over there and you're getting shot at and whatever, you kind of think, right, fuck it, let's...
You trained for this.
Yeah,
this is what you're there... Not in a way, this is what you're there for.
Yeah, that's what you're there for, yeah. So you kind of want to do that soldiering life, but the IEDs are something else because you don't know where they are. You don't know where they are.
It must play on your mind.
It does, constantly, yeah. there was lads over there. I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but you had like what's called a point man.
Yeah, John. No.
So your point man would have a Val on, so
Yeah.
he's like sweeping for IEDs and stuff.
Yeah.
At the start of the tour, doing it textbook, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Towards the end of the tour, they suspected an IED, they would go over and just stamp on it.
Why?
Because it got to your mind. It got to your mind. Do you know what I mean?
Well, guessing they, especially if that's their role, guessing they're in fear
Yeah,
every single day because
And that
they
must
are
play massively on your mental health.
Yeah, it does because, you know, we had quite a few casualties with IEDs, and
Would you say there's more casualties through the IEDs than there is for actual the warfare?
yeah, absolutely, yeah. IEDs was the biggest cause of casualties and stuff.
And if you're going to be in a, let's say, so-called shootout,
Yeah.
you're ready and prepared for that, even though it's obviously going to be the scariest.
You're
You're going to be scared, but you're well trained to do that.
Yeah.
But who's well trained to be unlucky and stand in it?
That's it. Yeah,
You know?
you can't train yourself for what an IED can bring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's horrible. It was horrible. Like I say, every step you took, you had to follow what was called a proven route.
Yeah.
So your point man would have the Val on, and then you'd have like a spray can. You'd like spray a lane.
Yeah.
And everybody behind follows
Everyone
that.
had to stay in that lane, yeah, because it was the proven route.
It's not just that, it's with the IEDs, it's if it doesn't kill you, it's the damage it does.
The damage,
to you.
the damage
You're
is...
well trained, fit
Yeah,
and
you're not
healthy
coming out
lad,
unscathed,
because you're
are you?
all in the army, you're all healthier than the average man.
Yeah.
You're all healthy, you're well trained, and then something this horrible like that happens, and if it's not going to kill you, it's going to change your life drastically forever, isn't it?
They call it like catastrophic injuries because...
There's no, it's not. You're not going
You've
to
gone
get
from
from
being
it.
an alpha male to, you've had this, you've stood on the eye or whatever happened, the injury that they can cause if not death.
Yeah.
Is it must give people more problems than physical.
Yeah.
It's the
Oh,
mental,
yeah.
it's the mental, because being aware that you could stand on one of them every day must be difficult for your mind, because you could think.
How do you sort of get that role as the point man? Is that sort of awarded or?
No, well, you can't... Everyone has a turn doing it.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So, so it's not like one guy specific.
No, every time we was about to leave the wire, they would say like...
So we'd send our kid every day if we were there. Go on, your turn, mate.
But yeah, people kind of like... After a while, people were just like, oh, just give it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they'd take that responsibility on themselves. But it was never a nice job. Never a nice job.
Can you imagine? Because you're not only sort of responsible for yourself, but because if you miss one,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
you've got your whole sort of squad behind you.
What were the toilets like? Have you seen Giant? I know that's a big way off topic, sorry. What were the toilets like?
But you didn't have
Did they
any...
have sandbox things?
You didn't have any. Do you know what I mean? Because when you're in a patrol base out on behind the wire, there's no...
The people just stand up and shit like a grill?
No. Basically, in our base type of thing, you'd have like it was a man-made wooden area.
Yeah.
You'd have like a hole cut out, but you'd have these silver bags.
Yeah.
That's what you did your business in. Yeah.
It's not like a festival.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And then you'd throw it in the burns pit.
So is there any sort of, obviously when you're over there, obviously we don't want to talk about anything too deep because obviously respect people, who have lost their lives and things like that. But was there any sort of moment where you thought this is real? Where because obviously I'm guessing, like you say, you land there, the first week and a half is sort of getting used to your surroundings.
Yeah.
But was there like one sort of point where you thought, fuck, I'm in a war?
Why did you do this?
Yeah. There was moments like that, definitely. Like I say, for the first 6 weeks it was quiet, and then it just happened.
Yeah.
It was just like, I remember the first time my platoon sergeant was laid down the first shot, but it was at a fucking dog, because it like giving away our position.
Yeah.
He didn't shoot the dog. I'm not saying
Just scared
that.
it off.
Yeah, scared it off. But what that set off was then it brought them out. Brought them out because they thought we were doing something we shouldn't. So then we got attacked, and then that was it. And I remember like the first time, I didn't really do much apart from fucking freeze for a couple of seconds. And there was like a little wall about knee height wall. And I just remember just like hiding behind there, and I was thinking, oh my God, it's happening. You know what I mean? And that's when I knew then.
Yeah.
That's when I knew. But obviously when the first person got injured as well, that was like, It was a massive,
traumatic for yourself.
Yeah, it was.
I think the thing is, like, even though it wasn't yourself that got injured, seeing that makes it real for you, doesn't it? Like, this is the reality of where I am.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. It was a surreal moment, you know what I mean? Because just in an instant, life can change, you know, and it's...
Puts everything into perspective.
Yeah, it does, yeah. And then you start thinking about getting home then, you know what I mean?
So is that when you sort of came home after that tour?
Yeah, after that tour, we came back, yeah.
So a lot of people, I'd imagine, would leave the army for girls. Was that happening, you know, because they met a girl? You know, like, everyone has the best intentions that I've spoke to have wish they would have stayed in the army, but they met a girl.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of the reason for a lot of people leaving?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. I think it's an age thing as well. I think, like, as you get older in there, because the army's a great life, don't get me wrong, but there's also a lot of, like, times where you're not doing anything. And it's like...
Monotonous.
Yeah, a bit samey day to day, and you think...
Like sat in a CBD store.
Oh, so, exactly that. You just sat around and you're just thinking, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think, like I say, it's a bit of an age thing. You start thinking, can I do more with my life?
Yeah.
Then I've done that now.
You can't think that you want to get ahead with. Yeah. Because do you not think while you're there, people, even though people aren't, but do you not think in your head that people are getting ahead of you financially and...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You just, for me personally, I didn't really have a choice. I had to leave the army anyway. But at the time that was happening, my missus got pregnant anyway. Yeah. So, you know, I was in Afghan with people who had kids who were like 7, 6. And, you know, you saw what it did to them and you just thought, I'm not doing this again.
It's a long time to be away as well.
Yeah,
I think the thing is as well, like...
You've got kids at home.
Yeah, I think the thing when you get older as well is like, unless you've got an idea of progressing into being like an officer and things like that, you can only get to a certain age where you really want to be getting bullets shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and not only that, it's taking orders as well. You get to a point in life and you just think, I don't want to be told what to do anymore. Do you know what I mean? And that's part of the reason why I set this shop up, because...
I feel like that in my house.
I
do what I want, when I want, as long as my bird lets me.
So when you got home from the tour, did you leave the army straight away, or did you decide that while you were still on tour?
No. Like I say, I did the tour in 2010. I officially left the military in 2013.
Okay.
So, yeah, there was a bit of time. Like I say, my missus gave birth a year later. And there was a time where I thought, I was okay, you know what I mean? I thought, my son's at home, I see him at weekend type of thing. But it was getting to the point where I was coming home at weekend and he didn't really know who I was. Do you know what I mean? Because you know what it's like when they're that age. He didn't really know. Like, I'd come and try and pick him up and he'd cry and stuff like that. And I thought...
For his mum?
Yeah. And his grandma as well, you know, it was because my missus obviously lived at home at the time. And, he didn't really know who I was. And it was...
Would that make your mind conflicted then?
Fucking hell. Do you know what I mean? And
well, the first year is the most important, really, isn't it? Because the baby gets to know who you are. Yeah. If you're not there because you're in the army.
Yeah. But my bird's pregnant, right? And I've heard that the first few years are the most difficult, so I'm just going to turn over his 5. You know, when he can talk and come to football and play the PlayStation, and I am your dad. Sorry about the last few years. Here's a McDonald's.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so you've come back, your wife's had, did you say a little boy?
Yeah, my little lad, Ellis.
And so when you've had your son, did you decide to leave the army then, or was there a reason why you left? Or?
Well, yeah, kind of. Just like I say, I was coming home, I didn't know who I was, and the hardest thing for me was, like, we'd have to be back on parade on a Monday morning. Yeah. So I would leave as late as possible, like 5 o'clock Sunday morning, and like just, I know it sounds gay, but just like watching him in bed, thinking, oh, fucking hell. You know what I mean? And then
it's got to be hard to deal with that.
Yeah, all week you just
depends on
how long till Friday.
Weekend.
Hey,
depends if they've been naughty all weekend. Yeah, they were great.
But it's just like you then spend all week thinking, when's Friday? You know what I mean? So you're not really functioning.
Yeah, you're not living day by day.
You're just thinking home. But yeah, no, like I say, I had no choice but to leave the army due to being diagnosed with PTSD. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't really have a say.
Was that diagnosed pretty early, or was it a while after? Or
it was diagnosed in Camp Bastion.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because you hear stories of people not, like, you know, suffering from it but not being diagnosed for years and struggling with it.
sometimes it it can hit you straight away.
Yeah.
Or it can have a delayed reaction. So you'll be at home 4 years later, fucking walk into the shop, something will happen, trigger.
It triggers it.
And then
See,
it's like, boom.
PTSD is something that I can also share with you, whereas yours is for a reason which is good for going for the army and making something of yourself. I was acting like a twat for years, and something happened to me. Yeah, I got like a big scar on my face if I notice you. And fucking the situation, what happened to me is before that, I was a casual drinking and drug user, maybe a bit more than everyone else. And then that happened to me, and my cocaine taking just escalated after the attack. And I didn't know it was PTSD or anything until I was later told in the later years. I was trying, because my mind couldn't handle what had gone on and the way I was hurt, and I felt inside, and I was paranoid about everybody, and everybody was my enemy, and everything was going to happen, and I was paranoid everywhere I went, and basically just scared all the time. Even instead of putting an ego to it, I was scared, all the time, and I was just a wreck. So what happened with me is I was hammering cocaine up excessively, and it was the only time, even though it made me an alien off my head and I hated the person I became, it didn't. I was that mashed all the time, because I'd stay up, remember, I'd stay up for 7 days taking coke on my own, and it wasn't glamorous, my drug using. It wasn't what you think people going to nightclubs and taking drugs.
Yeah, it's a lonely
Mine was
place,
on my own in a dark place, sniffing ounces of cocaine,
Yeah.
like it's a normal way to behave. But that was the only time that I could mask what was going on in my head. I didn't know I had PTSD or something. I thought that's what people who serve the country get, not people who fucking sniff coke in Salford. That's hard. Yeah. You get me? So then when I was diagnosed with that, I always had a stigma against mental health tablets, and such as the sertraline and whatever. I always had a stigma, like, why would I have something like that? It made me a zombie. And then I tried to go to psychiatrists, and then I think I was someone doesn't share the problem that I have. So if I've got a problem in my head and a psychiatrist who's normal, even though they're educated on the subject, how can they tell me what to do? Yeah. They go like, why don't you just act normal? You know what I mean? Why don't you just be happy place and all that, right? Yeah. And the thing is you don't know what's going on in my head. So, for example, even though our experiences are very different, some of the problems might be similar. So when I go in Steve's shop, and even though it's a 5-minute thing, and I might come in and just chew his head off, 1,000 miles an hour, I'm like, fucking thank fuck for that when I get up, mad him, innit? Fucking hell, here he is, lock up, look, and all that. Back in his sniper suit behind the like a bus behind the counter. No, but like, even going in for me, it's the journey of, like, I still, with my weird dad, have people problems, so, I don't like to speak to people and that, but then when the journey of going in, getting my lovely CBD for the cheapest prices, the biggest bottles, the journey, me going in there, having a chat with someone that I can relate to, even though the circumstances are different, nobody's perfect, and we've all, for me, with my experiences with PTSD, no matter how different and similar from myself, which I had this, in my head, it was like 1,000 million thoughts a second, which combined with, there was combined thoughts of violence, self-hatred, confusion,
guilt as well,
questioning the past, guilt, everything. What I did is I hated myself, and don't get me wrong, it took a long time to stop doing that. I would go out with all these problems going on, and I generally didn't care if I died or lived. Yeah. So I would go out and act like a fucking madman, because I don't care what I do, because I don't care if I live, and I generally didn't care if I lived. And it's took me a long way to get to this point. So the PTSD, when I found out what he had, I tried to go to, speak about it and whatnot. Like I said, it didn't do anything for me with a psychiatrist or something, because all it did is get me dead nervous to go there, and I'm dead stressed, and I get there and talk for a bit and just come out.
Yeah, it's hard,
Thank fuck I'm out there.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not great for some people.
Yeah.
It obviously works, so psychiatrists won't have a job. Yeah. Nevertheless, it did not work for me. Yeah. So then I had a stigma against having tablets and stuff. And what I was doing is, I was just going out and getting off my head, because that's, even though my brain off its head is disgusting, it's the only thing that could relax my brain. In a way, sniffing an ounce of cocaine on my own in the dark. Fucking
forgot about everything.
marching around the house peeping, thinking I can see red lights on the top of walkie-talkies, the police 3 miles away. I could hear cars 4 streets away. I could go blue Citroen Saxo, half a tank of fuel, indicators on, you know, miles away and that, you know, I was that coked up. That was the only time my brain could relax, because my everyday brain was fucking insane, and it still is. I was insane thinking. My thinking was insane. My thought process was insane. And you see, I masked that with drugs. But then I can't say, when people say corner, and just because Steve's got a shop, he might think we're going, yeah, get this because we got our mate on doing a shop. But it's not that. You know what I mean? We don't. What I'm saying is, this stuff I'm passionate about because it's fucking saving my life. Do you know what I mean? I'm not perfect today. And through my problems, I'm certainly not perfect, but fucking, I'm sat here on a show talking in front of a camera. Fucking a year ago, I couldn't speak to anybody. I thought you know what I mean? I was a nervous wreck. I hated everybody. And it's you know, we might be saying, oh, look at them trying to sell something, but I'm trying to talk about something I'm passionate about. And this shit is the person I go see Steve to get this stuff, right? Yeah, and I'm just introducing you to my plug, you know what I mean? It saves my life, and I am, what's it called? You know, I am, as a lot of people know who know me, not all there, and I never have been thingy, but I'm a better man today than I've ever been. I genuinely want people to do well. I genuinely care to people. I'm still got personality problems, and they're still, you know, but for me, this stuff is good stuff. It's good stuff, and it'll fucking, if someone can chill me out, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What's, obviously, from someone like myself, I don't suffer from PTSD, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this won't. What is it? If you could explain it, what is it like?
Oh, it's very complex. It's very hard to explain. But like for me personally, like I left the army and I got a job with BT. So I was wearing a helmet with BT, boots, all that. So I still kind of felt like I was in the military. And having PTSD whilst trying to live a normal life, like PTSD's basically cost me my role within BT. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't function as a fucking human being, because you know yourself, PTSD, it just takes the slightest reminder or trigger to make you spiral out of control again.
What caused my PTSD controlled my thinking every single day. 2 years later, 3 years later. Now, it might be 5 years ago now, but up to this year, when I'm only trying to get past it because I'm trying to change me, who I am, and clean and sober, right? It controlled my thinking. So even if I'm talking to you here and I'm still thinking about that, if I'm driving down the road, it can set me off.
Looking for an exit.
I'll pull up at my house and I'm dead angry and wanting to cry through fucking nothing, you know? And it made me have my guard up all the time and just a nasty bastard. Now, when I decided, when I decided to get clean, it was not like one day I went to an AA meeting and I was like, praise the Lord, I'm clean. Let's all go for one pint. Right? You know what I mean? It's not, my drug using started off going this 18 for 3 months, and after that I was sniffing coke in the dark. But getting that going in the dark stuff was pretty strong. So for me, I had to, my journey was, with the PTSD, I ended up in CA and NA, Narcotics Anonymous. Now, my only drug of choice was cocaine. I completed cocaine. But what it did to my life and my family and the people around me, which you see in yourself, was, you know, it was a medication, me medicating myself, which I didn't understand at the time, because no matter what happens, if you said to me, Jay, I could be sat here now and we're just chilling tonight. If you said to me, Jay, don't let me down tomorrow, I'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? And like 100%, if I had something to do, it's something activated inside me. So if we had something really important to do tomorrow, I'd go, okay, I'm going to go for one pint now, even though I didn't drink every night. You get me? And I had to fuck up. I had to, and I genuinely wanted to change. I wanted to change for a long time. I had enough and I didn't care. And it gone past even the point of being suicidal and sad, and I just didn't care. So I went to NA and CA, and that's where I got clean. And then after I was clean, I found out that, wow, it's fucking harder being clean from drugs, because I had that...
Paranoid, isn't it?
I had that cocaine to mask my addiction and my problems. So then when I come off, I didn't know who I was because I was on coke for 10 years.
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't know who I was. I had all these thoughts and feelings I never knew I had.
Yeah.
So I was feeling things like a baby who gets feeling. I never knew I felt like that. So I'd watch something and I'd watch fucking a Red Nose Day advert and feel sad. I didn't know that I got sad. I didn't know who this person was.
Definitely.
I had to live with me.
Yeah.
So then my experience was I got recommended from a friend who helped me out about sertraline, and because I respected the person who, before that, I thought, why would I take that? I thought it'd be like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, if everyone finger, like, everyone's zombie. Like, I thought, so I was like, I don't need them, I'm great, I'm just a cokehead, just going to sniff coke every day, like, you know what I mean? I knew more than that doctor. What does he know? Just sniff coke all the time, you'd be great. So for me, I started on sertraline, and now they got me, which I thought at first with the smaller dosages, I felt, it's not doing that, but my girlfriend and stuff, and my mum would see me the most and go, we can tell, and now they put me up to 8,000 milligrams a day. And I'm like, no, it's 150 milligrams a day. And I've got to read the Bible every 15 minutes now. But they put me up to a higher dosage, and, it helped, but it still didn't cure everything, because I could just be all right all day and just hit a massive downer where I'm just like driving in my car, and I just say to my girlfriend, you're being mad with me, you. Yeah. And she's not done anything. I go, stop being mad with me, and I'm just maximum confrontational. Yeah. So then, back to it, I still take, me personally, my medication. Nevertheless, mixing that doesn't give me the therapeutic value that's sitting on my couch and from day to day, having stop me smoking. I'm on the CBD, and you know what? For the first time in a long time, I can actually say I'm all right. Yeah. No, I can actually say I'm all right, so I would strongly recommend it.
Yeah, definitely.
So yourself, Steve, when you sort of said, you realised you had PTSD, you was working at BT, you said PTSD sort of cost you your position there.
Yeah, it pretty much did, because I couldn't function. Like Jamie said there, I'd have days where I'll drive to an address and I know I have to get out and do that person's phone line and the internet and whatever. I was scared to get out of the van. Like, sometimes I'd just be like, I can't physically get out of this van. And obviously it was costing me like my own personal productivity. And that's when I knew, do you know what I mean? And I had several occasions where I'm like, be on the sick for long spells of time. And you just start to feel like a failure. Yeah. You don't want to come out your house, like, you feel like you're letting your kids down, you feel like you're letting the missus down, you feel like, you just feel like an absolute failure. And it's a dark place to be, it really is. And it sent me into a suicidal state of mind. Yeah.
And when you dislike yourself so much, in my experience, it was hard for me to like you when I hate myself. Yeah. So how can I do anything that I like when I hate me? Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't live with myself.
You find yourself at screaming.
Fighting your reflection.
Yeah. So how am I supposed to get up? And if I bump into you, how am I supposed to be nice to you and you? If I hate me, do you get me? And that might sound deep, but I woke up hating me. I went to sleep hating me. And you're the person unfortunately got to live with, aren't you?
Yeah, you do. It's like, for me personally, I was going through some sort of, I wouldn't say like a big identity crisis, but like, I've relatively been always like a clean shaven type of character, but all of it, I had this massive beard and like really long hair, and
just didn't care about yourself.
Yeah, just my appearance went, and I'd catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I'd think, you fucker. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I viewed myself. And like you said there, if you can't like yourself, how can you like anyone else? And you feel like you've got a big sign on your head saying, I'm paranoid, I've got anxiety, I've got depression, I'm a failure.
I felt like everyone was, they probably was, but I felt like everyone was talking about me.
Yeah.
Everyone was against me. Yeah. And then they'd always make excuses to blame other people. Yeah. So even though I created all my own problems, if something didn't work out for me, it'd be your fault, not mine. There's always yeah. And I'd always mask me. So, for example, even though I still do it I look for faults, but nevertheless, now I can see if I do something wrong. If we have an argument, I can go back to my house now and go, you know what, I was
Rationalise.
probably wrong then.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
rationalise.
Whereas I never used to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It was, you're a cunt, I'll never speak to you
Yeah,
again.
logic,
Stay with it.
logic kicks in.
But whereas now, I can still act like a twat, which like we all can, but I can go away and think, you know what, I was probably wrong then. And that's due down to me getting clean, using products like CBD and, you know.
If I can just say there, like, I can relate to that so much because I was quite suicidal last year, last July, so like a year from now, a year ago, and towards like October, November. But I was so down all the way through Christmas. I had to go to like my missus' sister, and you know, you do over Christmas and stuff. And I was so scared. Do you know what I mean? And I remember like, eating Christmas dinner, New Year's Eve. I was so scared, just thinking, please end. I felt like I was going into a suicidal state again. So I think it was like January the 3rd or something like that. I was just scrolling through Facebook and I came across these, Calm by Day. And I thought, do you know what? I've heard so much about fucking CBD. And I went down that day and got a tin of that. And I'm not just saying it, but within a couple of weeks, well, it was about 2 weeks, I had a different perspective.
You was thinking more about things.
I was thinking like,
It was like singing in the park and all, sunshine.
genuinely, like, it's like you wake out of a coma and you think, what the fuck have I just been doing?
Like you've allowed yourself to be happy again.
Yeah. I become mad emotional, mate, because like I said, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I liked. When I got clean and started to medicate myself, I didn't know who I was. I was like, no way does Jay like that.
Yeah.
You get me? And so I'd get emotional and that and stuff. But I got it. He's going to propose, baby, now, are you? Oh my God, you got to see this. You know, you see, look how magical he's done it. You know what I mean? I didn't know what I liked. You know what I like. It's true now. Go in the gym through the week, getting my haircut on a Friday, sniffy coat till Monday, right, and acting hard every other day, and I didn't know else what I liked, and then I found out that,
it's true.
You know, when I become to get clean and was proud of what I did, and I become to like myself again. The reason I like myself again was because I thought, you know what, I'm not as bad as I made.
Your perception of yourself.
I was a cunt, and people who don't like me, who probably watch this, have the reasons for not liking me because I wasn't a nice person, But then when I got clean and all that person I was on drugs isn't me. That's
exactly. Definitely.
Yeah, and I had a lot of problems from young, and I'm asked them with drugs. I'm asked them, you know what I mean? I've had several breakdowns, and I'm not proud of it, but unfortunately.
That's you.
Even though my makeup might have been unstable from young, the life I chose is what I chose, and it was the wrong decision, but you can't take it back. I've made a lot of mistakes in life, and I wish I could do it all again. But unfortunately, that journey's got me to here now, and I'm having a baby, and I've just proposed to my missus, but don't get me wrong, it's fucking been hard. I used to think, wow, I'm 28 now. I can't be arsed with another 28 years of this shit. You know what I mean? It's been horrible. I have happy memories from childhood, and then nothing in between. I hated high school. I hated everyone. I used to have a drink, like I said, and go fucking mad. And everyone would be like, "Wow, what's Jay doing? Just on top of cars and that." You know, I was never a normal person.
Start alienating yourself.
Yeah. So now I just come on the show and alienate myself.
The thing I noticed with PTSD is like it is so common amongst, like you say, ex-army veterans and stuff like that, and it's still never really talked about. Do you think there's sort of like anything the army could do to improve?
Definitely, because people might not know it because it doesn't get broadcasted enough. But like, it's like an ex-serviceman takes his life every fortnight. So every fortnight, like I'm part of ex-military groups on Facebook, and it seems like every week there's a new picture.
What, and he keeps coming back?
No.
I'm only joking.
No, but like...
No, sorry, we shouldn't be... We've got a laugh or we'll cry. I can talk about these things because, unfortunately I've been there myself.
It'll be someone sharing it like a picture of a bloke in his uniform saying, unfortunately, whoever has took his own life this morning, and, there'll be it's happening far too often.
Is he in aftercare? For example, did he go... which
probably now.
A lot of people probably don't want. You know why? Because But a lot of people don't probably know they got problems till
Yeah.
years after.
See,
you
the
get
thing,
me?
the thing
'Cause
is with the
nobody
army,
wants to face the problems.
no one wants to face it. The thing is with the army as well, like if you have to leave the army through a mental health problem, you always have that stigma of I wasn't man enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's
'Cause you
usually
thought
yourself.
if you would have
thinking
sat down in the army, one of your mates said, "Don't feel great today," you probably go, "Holy fucking hell, you be telling me your feelings for you weirdo."
There's always a saying like,
You know what I mean?
man up.
Would you have
Yeah,
dreamt to
that's
sat with, before you knew what problems you had, would you have dreamt to sat with someone and told them how you feel?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because, like a lot of people do it in the military, you mask it with alcohol. Do you know what I mean? So you do what you've got to do during the day. Like obviously you're doing fitness, so that will release some endorphins for that day. But then it's night when you go in your room on your own. You think fuck.
When you're with yourself.
With yourself, yeah, you're alone with yourself, and you can be your own worst enemy. So you mask it with drink, and you just get shit faced. And then weekend comes, you always try and keep busy instead of facing up to the problem.
Yeah.
And looking at it head
It's like
on.
a self-destruct.
Yeah, you just
self-destruct
yeah,
mode,
definitely,
aren't
yeah. You just hit that button all the time, and that's what I was doing for years, fucking years. And like I say, like you said there, for me personally, since being on CBD, I'm starting to learn new things about myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think I'd sit down and watch fucking, I don't know, Toy Story 4 with the kids and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I thought,
Did you like it?
Toy Story 4? Forky.
It was
mate.
bisexual or something.
Oh, it is a bit of a swing. But like, just to sit there, like normally I'd sit there and I'd be like, right, this is on. Fuck it, just look at my phone, like time goes by. But now I'm looking at things and I'm doing things and I'm enjoying it.
You're actually appreciating what
I'm
is
actually
around you.
appreciating it, exactly that. Because just over the weekend, we just went for a simple walk with the dog and the kids around the park. You start noticing fucking flowers and...
Do you know what? We'll do a catch-up show in here and we'll all have dreadlocks and we'll like, peace, man, and all that.
No, but it's true because there's something about CBD and it unlocks certain receptors in your brain.
Yeah.
And once those receptors are unlocked, you change as a person.
It's like you've
for
just
the
said
good.
you started realising you actually like things that you
Yeah.
never knew you liked.
No, I still don't like you though. I knew I didn't like you in active addiction and now I'm definitely sure I don't. My mum just says I've got to hang about with him because he's my cousin.
Just there for tech.
It really is true. I mean, like, for me personally, I vape it. I take a capsule in the morning and I've got the drops that I put under my tongue.
Yeah.
So I give myself that. It's not a protective barrier. It's not medication. It's just something it's a life choice that I'm making. And I'm certainly feeling the benefits because, like, I know it sounds cliche, but someone has said to me a year ago, you'll be on a podcast where thousands of people, I'm exposing myself.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, fuck off.
Tens of people.
Yeah, well,
Well, my mum,
But same thing as well, like sitting behind a shop counter speaking to new people every day.
Yeah.
If someone would have said that to me even 6 months ago,
Someone would have tried.
I'd have been in that corner cowering, thinking,
thinking
oh
he's a
my
serial
God.
killer.
Yeah, no, like seriously, I'd have been sat there thinking, how am I going to do that?
Yeah.
I can't speak to new people every day.
No,
I
but
can't
when I come in
face
to
that.
see you for the first time, you was doing the cross.
Well, yeah. No,
He was
but-
like a hungry hippo when he put the money down. He went, no, bam, I pulled it.
Like say,
Well, it's true though. It's just like little things. Like,
feel confident in yourself.
yeah, and I'm not saying CBD is an absolute magic one, but what I'm saying is it can give you that perspective where you start rationalising your thoughts and thinking logically, where you can start making better choices.
So what made you do what are they, the pill things?
Well, yeah, these are the capsules, and
What made you do them first?
because, like I say, back in January when I was starting to go really low again, I came across a post.
It was just pure coincidence.
Pure coincidence, but maybe it was meant to be. Do you know what I mean? And so I started taking them, and I felt different. I felt free. And then the vaping, I thought, well, why not have more?
Yeah.
Because you can't overdose on it. There's no THC in it. You can't get high or anything like that. So I just felt like I'm just making life choices.
High, but I do feel in a state of mellowness.
Oh, well, but that's because it's
Probably
unlocking-
slowed down my brain.
Yeah. What it does is it not attacks in that way, but it goes for your nervous system and it calms it down.
Yeah.
So once your nervous system's calmed down, it can free you of pain. It can free you of anxiety. It can free you of depression. It can just relax you because your nervous system is where it all starts. Do you know what I mean? That's where your pain starts.
Because usually in my head it's like a pinball machine, like bam, bam,
Yeah,
bam,
yeah,
bam, bam,
100
bam,
mile an hour.
Yeah, and then I can actually sit on the couch and just, you know,
Yeah.
chill. Usually I'd sit on the couch, go, what we're doing tonight, what we're doing tonight, we haven't been saying.
Always.
You're being mad with me, you two.
You're always thinking of worst case scenario, like, do we have to go out weekend because I don't think we should because it might rain. And you just start thinking like that. But
making mountains out of
making absolute fucking worst case scenario in every scenario. But with CBD, since my personal experience, since being on that, I want to do stuff. I want to get out.
And I agree with that totally. And it lets me live with myself.
Yeah.
Do you get me? Which is the hardest battle. It might sound that far.
I think the thing is as well is like, I mean, like I say, I don't do CBD, but it's probably a completely different thing. But like, I have asthma, so when I take my inhaler, say I have a bad chest, I take my inhaler, and straight away, because I've took my inhaler, I know that I'm going to be all right, which is weird. But I'm probably going to be all right without my inhaler. But it's like a mental thing as well.
Like 12-year-olds.
Fuck off.
Do you know what though? If you've been stuck on medication for years and you're taking that thinking you're going to be all right, you're not. Because the thing is about pharmaceutical medicine, if you go to a doctor and he goes, yeah, take that pill, it'll make you feel better. You take it without researching it. You don't know what's in it. You don't know the side effects. Like for me personally, I was on metrazapine. It made me put on about 3 stone.
Yeah, I found out mine does make you put weight on.
Oh, yeah.
But because I've been hit by a shark on my belly now, I've got that many stretch marks.
But that's the thing. I took that metrazapine because the doctor told me, take that pill.
Yeah.
And it made me balloon in weight, and I thought, fucking hell. But I did my own research on that, and like I know because I trust the people who make them. I know what's going in them, and it's all organic. It's all pure ingredients. You know what I mean? And it's
I'm not a weed smoker. I can't smoke.
No, neither am I. I can't.
Like people think that when you smoke this stuff, that you're like a cannabis head. Whereas I can't smoke weed. I've had bad experiences like twice when I was 13 with weed of smoking cannabis and thinking it was Buzz Lightyear and walking like I was walking on marshmallows home. I reversed my bike, drove in reversed all the way home or something. So I used to go green every time I smoked weed. So it's not the fact that I don't like weed, it's the fact that it doesn't agree with me.
Yeah.
Whereas this stuff clearly does.
Yeah. Well, if you feel like it's working, then it's working, isn't it? Of these, so you're taking these now, are you not on like any sort of medication at all? Are these completely taking you off?
Yeah. Like back in January, I was on 120 milligrams of propanolol. I was on they tried me on venlafaxine, they tried me on citralopram or whatever you call it. Yeah, I did try me on everything. But since being on this, I've managed to wean myself off. Yeah. So and now I'm protecting myself.
So now he just smokes £500 worth of CBD a day.
There you go. It's easy when you get it cheap.
So what do you say to someone who's like, because there is still that sort of stigma around CBD, especially with the older generation. Yeah. They don't quite get it.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd say to people who are slightly interested in it but don't really know what they're getting in for?
Yeah, like I say, it's all about, you've got to understand it's not got the THC, which is the psychoactive ingredient drug, which gets you high.
That's took the wacky out of the back.
Yeah, that's took the wacky out of the back, exactly. So this is it's like root extract. So people who take turmeric or curcumin, do you know what I mean? It's a compound that they're extracting from the root. Yeah, that's what the CBD is. And like I say, the THC is what you bash it with to get you high. And it's not got that.
People who do smoke weed, it sounds like you're making a joke with no punchline, taking the stuff that gets you high out. Yeah. But the feeling that gives me is a state of mellowness through relaxing, mellowness through relaxing my mind. Is the better than the feeling of being high.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I know I've got a mate who smokes CBD and he just does it for his back, and he said it works wonders. Like he stops feeling the pain. Whether that's the mental side of it as well, like he just assumes the back pain's gone because he's not thinking about it.
Like when you say I've got a mate, it sounds like you.
Yeah, it's me.
I've got a mate and he's gay and he don't want to come out of the closet. He's shooting it.
It's like I said with the CBD, it goes for the nervous system. And the nervous system is where pain. Obviously you feel your pain in your nerves. So that's where anxiety, everything stems from the nervous system. So if you can calm the nervous system down and relax it, then it's beneficial a million times over. Do you know what I mean? It's a no-brainer. Really
so where can people find your stuff if they want to get hold of it?
So they can come to my shop, which is in Colchif, or there's a.
If you message the show, we'll give you the address.
There you go. Yeah. So just come and find me. We've got a Facebook page, Ohm of Vaping. If you just type that in on Facebook, you'll find us. We've got an Instagram page. But,
Yeah, we'll put all the links in the description as well, so you can just click on them. Yeah. But anything else you want to add?
No, I'm pretty good.
Appreciate you coming down.
Yeah, no problem. It's been a pleasure.
He's our first guest, done.
Happy days.
Been
That's not how I
educational.
think he was. And if we should have wore suits because he got dressed up, he come like JLS, we're like the Blazing Squad. We all like Boy Better Know, and he looks like JLS. I'm gonna go. I swear I'm going straight to River Island after him. Here we go. I'm gonna go. Like, give me that on that mannequin. Give me that in double extra fat.
Fuck's sake. But yeah, nice one for watching the Arcade podcast. I have been Bison Briggz alongside
J Gringo Green.
I want to shout out to Steve from Ohm of Vaping as well for coming down. Make sure you click subscribe, leave us a comment. If you want to know anything about CBD, drop us a comment and we'll get Steve to come on and give you some answers about it as well.
And get yourself to the store. I want
Yeah.
to do a guest appearance there. For 1,000 subscribers, that kid will smoke crack in there.
Fuck's sake.
Yo, council estate breaks, spend every day on the pavement. Envying my neighbors, ashamed of my stained trainers. Answering the door every day to the same bailiffs. Rearranging dates and explaining the late payments. This ain't no kind of game, my life isn't PlayStation. Still I wish they made a memory card I could save face with. Looking at my old penny jar, I would save changing. Now shit's getting overly hard to remain patient. I'm wishing I could switch up with you and exchange places like estate agents, but I'm still stuck in the same matrix.